Old Ranger here. I know it's been a while, but I'm back at Dalbo, and we're going to talk today about not just the 10 essentials, but the 10 essentials for mountain bike backcountry travel. Basically, the 10 essentials apply to any outdoor activity, whether it's mountain biking, hiking, canoeing, fishing, backcountry streams, whatever you're doing, you should have navigation, hydration, warmth, and a bunch of other things, which we'll get to as I pull them out of the pack. Fire starters, etc. However, when you're talking about cycling, there's some things you also have to keep in mind, and that is, this is your way in and out. And if it fails on you, then you've got a much bigger problem. One of the reasons that I don't ride an e-bike, part of me would like to have the ease of pedal assist, but part of me knows that I'm not going to push a 65-pound bicycle out of the middle of nowhere with much ease. So I still have my Cogburn fat bike, my Volcanic VX7 mountain bike, and my Bianchi Volpe touring bike, and they're all pedaled by these. So, assuming you have the equipment, as I said, we'll get to that in a sec, you need to make sure the bike is ready. You need to make sure you're ready, but make sure you're adequately hydrated, make sure you had adequate rest, and make sure you know your equipment. So, when I took police cyclist training back when I was a county park ranger, I learned what we called the ABC quick check. And essentially that is this. You want to check A, the air in your tires. Make sure that they are sufficiently filled for whatever you're doing. In the case of where I am today, Dalbo Park, 65, 70 pounds, you can just slightly dimple the tire when I push on it with my thumb. B is brakes. Make sure that the brakes work. Your front brake should keep the bike from moving. Your rear bike should skid, which actually isn't very easy in the woods here, but should skid along the pavement if you're on pavement, or not want to move at all here in the woods. So that's cool. A, B. C is your chain. Is your chain lubricated? Is your chain got any kinks in it? Anything that would keep it from circling the cogs correctly? And the cogs and crank, make sure they're tight, make sure the pedals are tight, and everything is in line properly. Then Q or quick release, make sure that both of your quick releases are in the locked and upright position, and check to make sure that your bike works correctly, that the gears shift, what we call a quick check ride. So that is ABC quick check in a nutshell before you even get on the bike to go into the woods. The next thing we want to focus on is hydration. Make sure that if you're using water bottles, you have adequate for the time you're going to be out in the woods, and make sure that they are filled with clean, drinkable water. I carry a soft bottle because I never know when I'm going to have to use water to wash off an injury, so I carry a soft one for first aid and a metal one for drinking. They're the same water from our tap at home, but I like to have one that other people can use, or I can use if necessary, to clean off a wound. In my rack pack, I carry essentially the same things that I carry in my day pack. Today I happen to have both, but right now it's the I'm showing the rack pack. There's actually a compass in here if I can get it out. This is a backup compass. I have obviously much better ones, but this one always stays in the rack pack. I have a map of wherever I'm going to be. This was from last week at Cuyuna, where I was actually fishing, but it was the map I had for doing that. And as I said, essentially inside the pack, I have the same things I would: bug spray, bicycle repair tool, survival kit, good size first aid kit, high energy food, a bandana. On the side pocket, I have tools for changing or patching the tire. I also have lube for the chain. There, tire levers. Well, there are two. One's down on the ground now. Tire levers and a patch kit. Sometimes I will carry I'll carry a full tube if I'm riding the fat bike on terrain where I'm afraid that the tire might be damaged. But normally, at least with the rack pack, I use what I showed that didn't drop on the ground. Next, we'll cover what I carry on my person and in my pack. Right now I have on my regular glasses and a ball cap, which is saturated with bug spray, because the tick season is ending, and that means that the deer fly season is beginning. And I've had a couple of the nasty little skin burrowing bugs on my hands so far this afternoon. But in any event, I carry eye protection, or I wear eye protection. These are regular sunglasses. I also have biking specific sunglasses. Helmet, of course. On the pocket of the pack, I have emergency locating device. This is a SpotX transceiver. I can send messages of up to 140 symbols. It also has an SOS capability, and I need help, but it's not an emergency capability. So never leave home without it. By agreement with my wife, after I suffered a traumatic brain injury in an empty park back in 2011. In my pack, I have, as I said, essentially the same items I have in the bike rack pack. I have a compass, a really good compass, with a viewfinder, and the ability, it's basically a small transit, so that I can aim and find what I'm going toward, and then get the reading as to what direction it is. And if you have a map and you have a compass, then you need to know how to use them. Kind of a duh thing, but you can't have one without the other. Sorry about that. Band-aids, adhesive bandages, the most commonly used first aid piece of equipment probably in the world. Nitrile gloves, there are like 6 pair of nitrile gloves in this pack, sized for my very big hands without the bicycling gloves on them. Forgot to mention that. I wear cycling gloves. I prefer fingerless gloves as much as possible, because then I can run my camera, my phone, what have you, answer the phone, whatever necessary, and run my GPS. I have a GPS on the bike. Right now I'm using the phone as the GPS because it is packed to go on the trip next week. Loud whistle with a thermometer on one side, it's a novelty item, and a little compass on the other side. I am overly redundant on compasses. Compass eye, whatever. Then inside, a topographic map. This is for where I'm going next week. I'm already ready for next week's trip, really. This is a MyTopo from mytopo.com. You can see that right there. It's a Trimble company. Trimble is a mapping and compass manufacturing company. And the nice thing about MyTopo is anywhere you want to go in the United States, they can make a map of it. This map normally, if you look at the back side, it shows that it would normally be portion of 6 different maps. But you go online to mytopo.com, pick out the area that you want to map, and they will make it and send it, and it's even on waterproof paper, which is really nice. More bug spray. I prefer Natrapel just because ever since I went to Russia, northwestern Russia in 1997, where every mosquito that ever lived on the universe seemed to be in our campsite one night. And we had lemon eucalyptus and citronella bug spray, and it was the only thing that worked. In fact, the Russians asked us to leave our citronella spray with them because they didn't have anything like that there. So I've used Natrapel since 1997, 1996, when we were getting ready for that trip. Good custom-built first aid kit. We call this the football. I also carry it in my ski pack, snowshoeing pack during the winter. It's got everything from heat pads to a splint to face shield for mouth-to-mask resuscitation, including some basic medications like Benadryl, aspirin, antacids, things of that sort, all carried in here to take care of 1 to 6 people for up to 5 days, I hope. I hope I never have to use it for that long. Quick energy food. Recently discovered these I love cranberries. These are cranberry, oatmeal, almond, Kate's Real Food energy bars. They're great. Get them from Azure. Mentioning all these brand names, I'm just saying none of these imply endorsement by the provider. It's just that's what I use. So quick energy food. Tacoma Mountain Rescue Survival Kit, Storm Kit. This contains everything you need on how to survive. Matches, warmth, a shelter, tube tent, energy supplies, signaling. There's a mirror inside the lid. It contains, and I quote, matches, candle, sugar, salt, tea, bouillon, wire, a whistle, paper, pencil, compass, foil, knife, cord, poly bag, signal mirror, poly bag is for collecting water, plastic tube tarp, and a survival information brochure. I don't know that you can find these anywhere but on eBay anymore. I don't believe Tacoma Mountain Rescue still makes them, but if you can find something similar and this compact, carry it with you. This handy gizmo came out a couple years ago. It's basically a Sierra Madre survival sleeping bag. It's bright orange, and it will keep you alive in the winter and keep you warm. So started carrying these in my pack, in my car, in my wife's car. Bought a bunch of them and put them in everything that moves. Good stuff. I will put links to all of these in the box down below. Rain jacket. This is a good Gore-Tex. What is it? Moonstone, I think, is the brand. This was provided to us back in the early days of the Moonstone National Mountain Bike Patrol, which is why it says patrol down the side. But it's an excellent, excellent rain jacket. Carry that in the winter, fall, early spring. I also carry at least a vest, if not a sweater, and rain pants as well. As far as other things, folding knife, locking blade, another bike repair multi-tool. I think this is called the Alien. You probably don't call it that anymore. It wouldn't be politically correct. But anyhow, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tools in one. Very cool gizmo. The one I showed you in bike is called a cool tool, and it is. And it actually has a wrench, adjustable wrench on it, as well as a dozen other tools. So I don't know if Gerber still makes the cool tool, but if you can find one, latch onto it. There's nothing like it. I have a, down in here further, tire levers, and inside the tire levers a patch kit. So that pretty much covers what I carry with me in my pack. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments down below, and I will do my best to either answer them or direct you to somebody who can. Now the funny part is I have no idea where I put the gizmo to shut the camera off. That is interesting. Oh, there it is. P.S. We're starting a Patreon page. If you're interested in supporting these educational efforts of the Old Rangers Backcountry podcast, we'll include a link down below. If you like this podcast, please click the thumbs up button, and I hope you'll subscribe, because that way I can keep on generating material to help you be safe in the backcountry. Once again, be safe, be prepared, and we'll see you out there. As I've said previously, I sit many hours at this table, particularly on weekends when people are out in the park. Today happens to be quiet, nice, beautiful day for being out for a ride. Found a large tree down at the intersection of the main trail and the main boardwalk bridge across the bog, and so I reported that, and I'll ride a little bit more and head back to the car. Next week, I will be on the Superior National Forest, and I think I mentioned that, and I'm going to have another 10 essentials, this one for canoeing. Yeah, you still need the navigation, the hydration, the warmth, the survival equipment, but also you need to have things like a personal flotation device, paddle, something to use if you lose your paddle, things of that sort. So we will be talking about that from my Old Town Pack Canoe up on Superior National Forest, home of the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, next week on the Old Rangers Backcountry podcast. Thank you for watching, and thank you to my wife Ellen for the wonderful Father's Day present of a tripod / selfie stick, which has enabled me to film this. It really is a big improvement over trying to hold it up in my hand. In any event, remember to be safe, be prepared, and we'll see you on the trail.